Ok.
Ok, então, gente, muito obrigado pela presença de todos e nesse momento nós passamos o nosso encontro para o inglês, ok? Como já é de se esperar em um evento chamado Go Global. Then, hello, good morning, everyone. We are kicking off the Go.GlobalX pitch competition, an event that marks the end of the acceleration program whose purpose was to drive innovative business with potential for global impact. The initiative is a partnership between Sebrae, Unicred, and the three universities in the Alliance for Innovation: the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, URGS, the Pontifical Catholic University of Rio Grande do Sul, PUC, and the University of Vale do Rio dos Sinos, Unisinos, through their technological parks. This event is being broadcast live on Zoom and will be recorded. We appreciate the presence of everyone. I would like to ask everyone to keep their microphones turned off during presentations and feedback rounds. Also, it helps if everyone turns their camera off during presentations. Any other time, we invite all to open their cameras and show your faces. Over the past 11 months, 35 startups were selected to engage in an intense journey in the program with workshops, lectures, networking, and many different exchanges. Over 4 stages, evaluation boards were held that resulted in the selection of only 7 startups for the pitch competition today. In the next hour, we'll hear the pitches for each of the businesses that have made this far. But before that, we would like to thank all of our partners here. By thanking the representatives of the institutions that carry out the program, we extend our appreciation to the institutions themselves. First of all, Roberta Bussamara, Director of Zenit Scientific and Technological Park at URGS. Susana Kakuta, Director of the São Leopoldo Technological Park, Tecnocinos. Leandro Pompermeyer, Business and Relationship Manager of the Science and Technology Park at PUC, TecnoPUC. André Vanoni de Godoy, Managing Director at Sebrae RS, and Leandro Monteiro de Castro, IT Governance and Architecture Manager at Unicred Brazil. To start our event, I will invite our partners to say a few words to all of us here at the pitch competition. First of all, I'd like to invite Dr. Roberta Bussamara, Director of Zenit Scientific and Technological Park at URGS.
Thank you, Marcelo. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I greet our institutional partners, TecnoPUC, here represented by Dr. Leandro Pompermeyer, Tecnocinos, represented by Dr. Susana Kakuta, Sebrae, represented by Mr. André de Godoy, and Unicred, represented by Mr. Leandro de Castro. I would also like to praise our Canadian partners at Ideality, represented by Mr. Luis Baionuevo, and thank the Spark Center's presence, represented by Mrs. Sherry Colborn. Also, I thank the review board for their time, and last but not least, the program's standout startups, who along with others gave life to this program. We at Zenit believe that innovation is developed through good ideas, hard work, and meaningful connections. That's why Go Global is such an important program. We brought together large institutions and meeting and dedicated entrepreneurs. And today we will be able to see the results of this work. The Go Global initiative is a vital step in accelerating startups, propelling them to reach new markets and showing the strength of Brazilian innovation to meet global demands. When the program started, I said that we sought to contribute to Brazilian society by boosting innovative ideas, fostering human resources with an entrepreneurial culture, and integrating science in global market. Today, we see that the Go Global program fulfilled that mission. But entrepreneurial work is a process and not an end in itself. So today, we take one more step in developing this group of companies and our innovation ecosystem. We appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this. Thank you very much. And we are very honored. And we are here to support initiatives that strengthen innovative capabilities, develop partnerships, and create a robust innovation ecosystem, whether locally or across international barriers. Thank you, and I wish you all a good event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roberta. Now, Go Global would like to invite Dr. Susana Kakuta to say a few words, Director of the São Leopoldo Technological Park.
Hi guys, sorry, I'm Isabella from Unicinos. Susana is having a problem with connection. She's in a business travel, so I'm trying to talk to her, but you can...
Okay, that happens. Yeah. We'll fast forward to Dr. Leandro Pompermeyer, Business and Relationship Manager of the Science and Technology Park at PUC. So please, if you can share a few words with us.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm so glad to be here and talk about this very important program that you have in our ecosystem. Let's start to just remember what happened in the past. In 2019, the three parks, Zenit, Tecnocinos, and TecnoPUC start together, talk about what you can have new in our ecosystem to provide tools and improvements for the startups, not just startups that we have here in Rio Grande do Sul, but around the Brazil, because you believe that you have a very good and powerful components to deliver value for everyone in the entrepreneurial scenario. So in 2019, we started the discussion about the new program that you believe that you didn't have at that moment. And of course, you believe that collaboration is the key point for what you're doing. And of course, the Alliance for Innovation is the beginning of this discussion. We invited the SEBRAE to be part of this discussion. And I remember when we have one meeting with the people, the staff from SEBRAE here in TecnoPUC, and when we start to discuss what the Go Global could be, Gustavo, I don't know, probably Gustavo will remember this point. Gustavo said that you probably should create something that you didn't know, you didn't have in our in different parks. For example, here in TecnoPUC, you have the Startup Garage, you have Road, you have Orbit. You probably SEBRAE, Tecnocinos, Zenit have programs that develop and help startups in the early stage moments. In that moment, Gustavo said, "Oh, you should create something that is important to help entrepreneurs and startups to put their business globally." And we start to discuss the Go Global, that in the way that you know, and that the way that you run this last year. So you invited the partners to bring together the power, and UniCred is another partner that believe in us from the beginning. And you create something very special, not just for Porto Alegre, not just for Rio Grande do Sul, but something very important for Brazil. So I believe the Go Global, it's different, it's important, not just because you have some challenge when you connect some startups from Brazil to another part of the world, like Estonia and Canada, that is very important, key partners for this Go Global. But it's very important because you can show not just for the country, for Brazil, but to show for the world that you have very important, interesting, and unique business that can sell and can provide value for every part of every society, different societies, and every different country in the world. So I believe this it's a very important step for us in Rio Grande do Sul. I'd like to thank for the team that ran this Go Global in the first edition, because you have the pandemic moment, you have the different startups from different parts of the Brazil, you have this connection around the world, more than 50 meetings, sharing knowledge, sharing impact, sharing some value between the startups, between the network that you create in this program. So I know that it's very hard to run a program virtually like you did, but in this day you know that you have something with success, and you have something with value that you can provide, not just for this startup that you have now, the 7 startups you present today, but for the others that you'll be part in the future, in the next edition that you have in the Go Global. Just to sum up, that I'd like to say, I believe that with this program, with this movement, with this collaboration, you can show for everyone that Rio Grande do Sul and Porto Alegre is a very important and powerful ecosystem to help every entrepreneur around the world. And I would like to say that for every startup that you present today, Tecnopuc, you keep the doors open for any assistance that you need in the future, because you are part of our ecosystem. You are the Tecnopuc startups. You are part of this environment that you have here in Rio Grande do Sul, and you have the Tecnopuc anywhere. So keep in touch, have success in your journey, and have a good event today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Leandro. Now Go Global would like to invite André Vanani de Godoy, Managing Director at Sebrae RS, to say a few words.
Thank you, Marcelo. Good morning, everyone. Initially, I want to greet our partners of Go Global, the 3 universities that build up the Alliance for Innovation, Pontifícia Universidade Católica do Rio Grande do Sul, a Universidade Federal do Rio Grande do Sul, e a Universidade do Vale do Rio dos Sinos, through its technological parks, and UniCred, which also understood the importance of the program proposal. Being a business acceleration program, Go Global has among its strengths the virtue to demonstrate that it is possible to open the international market to national companies, especially in this case for micro and small businesses, contributing to demystify market access for small business. Of course, the program is turned to innovative business with potential for global impact, so it's not for any business. However, this universe is very significant, as seen earlier this month in Portugal at the Web Summit, when more than 1,500 startups, many of them Brazilian, has presented their ideas to investors from all over the world. The support of international partners such as Ideality and Startup Canada, the mentoring of both local and foreign professionals of the innovative system, as well as providing physical spaces, were fundamental so that the stages of the program could have been developed properly. The 7 finalists that reached to this point have demonstrated their competence throughout the program stages and bring very promising business ideas such as the use of design thinking to build collective nutritive intelligence, or a platform to make more conscious the usage of screens by children, or even a project to transform industrial waste into smart fertilizers. Interesting to note that all finalists bring the concern with broad sustainability, another feature of innovative projects in general. Among the finalists that we'll present out now, some are already in the internationalization stage, thanks to the program. It is the case of Iris Lab in Portugal, UBVs in Germany, and Nutrition Thinking and Zero Fertile in Canada. Finally, it is possible to say that this edition of Go Global met the expectations of its idealizers. And it proves again that the flowering of innovative ideas demands an ecosystem where companies can find resources to develop their ideas, capital, knowledge, physical infrastructure, in addition to a broad network of national and international connections, need to be available to companies in an accessible and non-bureaucratic way. And if governments don't have the condition to provide this environment, at least they need to create a regulatory environment that is friendly to innovative companies and their encouragers, leaving the road clear for the development of an accelerated and healthy innovative system, fundamental for the future of the future that is being written now. Thank you very much and have a good event, everyone.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Now we would like to invite Ms. Sherry Colburn, President and CEO of Spark Center, a very honored guest that we have here. Thank you very much for participating. If you could please share a few words with us.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Marcelo and Raquel, for bringing this awesome opportunity to Spark Center and Synergy Labs. We are an incubator, a regional incubator in Durham region of Ontario. We're about a 45-minute train ride from downtown Toronto, but unlike downtown Toronto, we have a gorgeous lifestyle out in Eastern Ontario, certainly a lot more affordable than the downtown core, but very innovative. So many communities that are all collaborating right from Durham all the way through to the most eastern border of Ontario, that's borders with Quebec. Lots of exciting things going on. I hope to be able to share some of it with some of you. I know early next year, we're going to be working very closely with Go Global, something that we are very much looking forward to. I just want to say good luck to all of you today. We already have a very strong Brazilian community at Spark Center. So for those of you who may take the leap and bring your businesses to Canada, we have lots of wonderful Brazilian companies already resident at Spark, and we have a wonderful local community ready to welcome you. So thank you so much for this opportunity and best of luck to all of you today. I'm looking forward to hearing your pitches.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Okay, I believe that Dr. Susana Kakuta is still having some issues with the connection. She's abroad as well. So I guess we'll just keep going. Okay. Today, the 7 startups that stood out the most and showed commitment and evolution throughout the program are presented here. We want to congratulate all the entrepreneurs of the 35 startups who participated in Go.GlobalX since the beginning. We hope that you move forward employing your talents and your business development. With the help of a distinctive jury, our goal today is to define the startup that will be the big winner of Go.GlobalX. The startups presenting today are competing for a place in the next Canada Startup cohort. a preparation program for Canadian startup visa and soft landing in Canada. This result will be announced after the event on Thursday, November the 25th, throughout the social media of all of our program partners. Okay, now I would like to invite Mr. Luis Baionuevo, founder of Videality and COO of Canada Startup, to present our panel.
Thank you, Marcelo. I just want to thank everybody. It was a pleasure to participate and support this program during this year. I'm happy to know that we are going to the next year we have the second edition and go on. So I'm happy to understand that this is starting, that we start this year is a solid program that will bring much more and many other companies to the global market. So I'm here today to basically introduce our committee, our jury committee. We have a pleasure to announce that we have today with us 4 awesome people. So they first is André Coutinho. He's a venture builder, member of entrepreneur organization that is a global and large organization around the world. So he is a transformational leader, work with strategy and innovation consultant. He's a professor of strategic design, innovation, and behavioral economics, co-designer and anchor of SynTech podcast. So he's a very connected world, connecting the world ecosystem in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship. Thank you, André, for being here with us. The second judge today is Carr Furtado. Carr is a financial consultant by professional, operated at private health management practice for 37 years. So a lot of experience bring to this judge today. He is co-founder of Golden Triangle Angel Network. This is a large, perhaps the largest angel group here in Waterloo region, and perhaps in the Southern Ontario, or perhaps in the world. He is over this organization in 10 years over, go to over 80 companies funded, more than $40 million in investing, and more than $50 million from the government, grants and loans. So it's like a classical model where how Canada works in terms of funding is a mix of private and also public funding. And he is a graduate in the Waterloo region in the Wilfrid Laurier University, and he has a hobby that is now looking for some specific style cars, like sport car and also this kind of thing. So I'm happy to have you, Carr, and with us today as well. So going on, we have Fernando Seabra. Thank you, Fernando, for being with us today. Fernando is co-founder of Angel Investor Club. This club just was founded this year for a small group, and now is around 2,000 people in the community. So it's awesome to see how this group is growing, and is a classical group to support startups for good. He's an advisor at Battle of Startups and mentor at Planeta Startup, the director at FIASP, that's a organization in São Paulo of Federation Industry, and also advisor Shark Tank Brazil, board member of CONIN, this Council of Innovation, co-founder of, as I said, Angel Investor Club, and Fluency Ambassador at SBF, and professor several MBAs in the area of innovation entrepreneurship, and he's also building his own new platforms to support entrepreneurs in terms of education and especially for the early stage companies. So thank you, Fernando, for being with us as well. And we also have Pravin Rodriguez. Pravin, thank you for being with us today again. And Pravin is a co-founder and also CEO and Chief Social Impact Officer at Cresci, and Managing Director of Spera Ventures Incorporation. So multidisciplinary business leader. He has a lot of experience in affecting positive organizations. The idea is he has focused in industry sector experience, including financial services, telecom, software and hardware, retail, manufacturing, and healthcare. So he is very welcome to this event today as well. So thank you very much for this awesome judge and jury committee. So I'm very happy and excited also to see the pictures today. And thank you very much, Marcelo.
Okay. Thank you, Luis. I also extend our appreciation, Go Global appreciation, to Raquel Boechat and everyone in Ideality. You guys have been key partners in making this program the success it was. Also, I'd like to give a quick thank you to our team that got really involved throughout the year. So I want to thank Andriele Nahara, David Viegas, Eduardo Nunes, Guilherme Leme, Gustavo Moreira, Isabela Jongo, e Leandro Monteiro. So thank you guys for your work and support throughout the year. Okay, here's the dynamic for today's pitch competition. Entrepreneurs will have 5 minutes to present their pitch. After that, we'll have another 7 minutes for feedbacks and questions from our examination board. We will be very strict in controlling the time so that we do not go longer than expected, okay? The first startup will be Nutrition Thinking. You can start sharing your screen, please. After that, after your presentation, we'll have 7 minutes for questions and feedback. I'm gonna be keeping the time here. When if you reach 5 minutes, I will let you know, and then you have 10 seconds to close your arguments. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to close the mic, okay? So Nutrition Thinking, whenever you're ready, I'll start timing you guys.
So let's start. Hello, I'm Francisca Mosley, creator of Nutrition Thinking and head of Nutrition Thinking Company with my partner, Caroline de David. And in the next few minutes, we're gonna show you how I change. Oh, sorry. I was on mute.
No, we can hear you, Francisca.
Oh, okay.
No, we can hear you. Keep going.
Keep going. Can I start again? Okay. In the next few minutes, we will show you how a change in perspective and the right approach can transform the way we do diets and more. Anyone here who ever tried to follow a diet probably has experimented with what Carlitos felt in modern times, trying to fit into something, taking orders, following rules, performing tasks, and the frustration that you don't fit into this. And it makes sense. After all, the traditional prescriptive model of diets is just a derivation of the waterfall model that emerged with the Industrial Revolution. But now we live in a world of complexity, where the interconnectedness of food systems and overlapping health risks associated with undernutrition, obesity, and climate change became the main challenge for the health of human beings, the environment, and our planet in the 21st century. And in this new reality, this model becomes even more worn, given the speed at which changes have occurred in our lives, our need for purpose, and our concern with environment. So the traditional prescriptive model of diet taught in nutrition graduation course cannot provide skills development to co-create authentic and sustainable diets, and can easily be reproduced by nutritional apps that are making nutritionists obsolete in this process. The urgency for new ways of build diets that balance the needs of individuals and also addressing global challenges creates for nutritionists a potential market of $1 billion a year that they don't even know. And that's why Caroline and I Two nutritionists with academic backgrounds, complementary skills, and market experiences decided to create Nutrition Thinking Company. And now we are part of important innovation ecosystems in Brazil and Canada. At Nutrition Thinking Company, we empower nutritionists to challenge the traditional model in a revolutionary movement that boosts professional growth. We offer a system of training in nutrition thinking approach, innovation and entrepreneurship, valuing professional performance and encouraging female entrepreneurship by creating market differentiation and support to grow. We also enable professionals to work globally with a neutral approach via a platform that connects them to consumers, solving their needs for action in a new connected world that also requires nutritionists with abilities to act in a more impactful, collaborative, and experimental way. Our secret sauce lies on nutrition thinking, the most innovative approach to co-create diets developed by us. Based on design thinking, nutrition thinking reverses the process, facilitating the practice of co-creating human-centered diets, bringing more agility, dynamism, and a sense of purpose when compared to the traditional model. We have co-created almost 1,500 diets, directly impacting more than 1,200 people in 6 countries, and launched the NT School and NT Pro MVP this August. We already have 1 certified partner and 4 future partners on training. We reach the market through partnership with universities such as PUC, the best private university in Brazil, and we are always looking for partnership with companies and institutions to reach new customers. After that, word of mouth indication from them becomes our best channel. Our partnership with university results in a low customer acquisition cost to NT School program that gives us a gross profit of around $4,000 per future partner. And in NT Pro, we charge a tax of 25% of the session value on NT experience. We are looking for opportunities of connections with universities for promote NT School in Canada and reach the first leads outside Brazil to prove product market fit. After we reach this milestone, we plan to move further with the expansion process, looking for the training of 33 nutritionists in Brazil and 10 globally for the next 12 months. All that to say that if nutrition thinking for us is one of the possible answers to the questions of how nutrition can contribute to the modern world,
5 minutes.
Nutrition Thinking Companies represent our commitment to be part of the solution. Thanks.
Okay, Francisca, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Caroline, as well, for your presentation and also for participating in Go Global and trusting us. Now we open for the examination board. Like I said, it's going to be 7 minutes and we're open for questions. Whoever wants to ask a question can either just open the mic and ask it, or you can find on the reactions button on your Zoom, there's one called raise hand, and you can also raise your hand if you don't want to interrupt whoever is asking or answering at the moment. So that being said, we can start. Who wants to share a feedback or ask a question to the girls? I see Fernando. Fernando has raised his hand, so please, Fernando,
Yes.
you can.
Francisco, so congrats on your presentation. Okay, very nice project. You said you had so far around 1,000 clients on 6 countries. I want to know which country was the first and how was the result on this country, and why did you decide to go to other 5 countries and not first nail one country? How was this strategy?
Okay, thank you, Fernando. When we're talking about acting in 5 countries, we are talking about being work with people in these countries. So as a demand that we observed is Brazilian communities outside Brazil. And in this context, the use of technology can connect us to them and create appropriate diets for their needs, independent of the country that they are living. So when we start to work at these countries, we start to understand how we can use nutrition thinking in countries like Uruguay, Argentina, Canada, United States, and Australia.
Okay. Your total revenue so far was how much?
Actually, we started this expansion process. After that, all these revenue are provenient of my office and the person that I attend by myself. So now with our second partner, we start to increase this number.
Okay.
Thank you, Fernando. Now, I think we have a question from Carl Furtado. Please, Carl, you can go ahead. I believe you're on mute. You need to unmute your mic.
Here we go. Thank you for the presentation. That's an area that I don't have any domain expertise, but my question that I keep seeing around is that there's a lot of nutrition programs, especially in North America. I am familiar with keto. Is this in the same area of nutrition, or I'm totally wrong on what you're trying to achieve on the nutrition?
So, Carl, thank you for the question. Actually, you are totally wrong, because what we do is to co-create diets. When we see nutrition fields, we see nutrition, we see that all these kind of diets are just technical. And without a person in the center of the process, we don't have nothing. When we see all the data from the unsuccessful diets, we see that a person in life will do about 126 different diets on life, but they won't gonna create one. And this is what we want to do. Appropriate people to create their own best diets.
And just to complement, this is our main differential, because technologies, applications, and programs of in nutrition that exist don't do this. They reproduce the same prescriptive model when the professional or an application do by a professional say what people need to do, what they need to eat, but they don't help people to co-create a diet or to think about the nutritional process. And what you do is really develop skills in persons to help them to be designer for their own diets and challenge the nutritional challenges and resolve the nutritional challenges.
Thank you. Now I appreciate a little bit what you're trying to do. I think either you need to hook up with a big manufacturer, because that's, I think, the go-to-market is that, or go to clinics, and clinics are like a Heinz 57 mix. Everybody has an opinion, but execution is absolutely terrible. So I'm just sharing that as with no malice.
So much, Carl.
Thank you very much. Yes, please, Mr. Pravin Rodriguez.
Sorry, if I can ask a follow-up. I can't find the hands up button. So sorry, I'm not being rude. I just can't find the button.
It's okay. You can hold your hand up as well.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your presentation. I see that you're really trying to do something good here. The question I have is that the timeline in your one-pager shows the step of nutritionist validation starting this year after this competition. So my question is, like, you already have close to 1,500 diets developed, and you've impacted a significant client base. So my question is, to what extent did you have nutritionists from the field involved directly in your product development process?
Well, now we have one nutritionist that is already certified and 4 that we are training. We start to talk with nutritionists outside Brazil at first to understand their needs, because we realized that their needs outside Brazil are so different and the market is very different. So we are looking for partnerships with university to get this future professional to work with us. We just started this at this moment.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah, you can ask a quick follow-up because we reached the 7 minutes, but yeah, please go ahead.
So just going back to Fernando Sebra's question, you know, because nutritional requirements, and for example, the Canada Food Guide, which just recently changed, has very specific requirements in terms of or prescriptions in terms of nutrition. Going back to Fernando's suggestion that potentially it would be good to focus on an individual country first, knock that out of the park, and then, because you might end up spreading yourself too thin. And the other suggestion I have is, involving nutritionists in those markets directly in your product development process. So I'll leave it there. I know time is short.
And I don't know if I can answer, Marcelo.
If you can, please keep it short. You can.
Okay. One thing is that our approach is neutral enough to be part of any need. And one thing that is important to understand that we don't say what to do. We help to do. We act on how to do, to put all this in life. And this makes us make a great difference show, because we can use all the technical that already exists and help people to live that.
Thank you very much, Francisca. Thank you very much for all the questions from the panel. Now we move to Ubivis. I believe Paulo is going to present.
Yes.
So thank you very much again for Nutrition Thinking for your presentation and for being with us throughout the year. And now we're ready for Ubivis presentation. Whenever you're ready, I'm going to start to time you. When you reach 5 minutes, I'm going to let you know, and then you have 10 seconds to close your presentation.
Okay, everybody can hear me and see the presentation?
Yes, we can hear you, but the presentation is not in full screen.
I'm already sharing.
Yeah, you're sharing, but it's not full screen. We can see the PowerPoint
and full screen
around the.
Now let me try again, because I put full screen here. At least for me, it's showing full screen.
Yeah, maybe it's just for me as well. I'm not sure if if everyone else is seeing the same as me.
Are you guys seeing full screen? Yep.
There you go.
Yes,
it's okay now.
Great, perfect. Then I will start. Well, first of all, I like to thank you, appreciate the opportunity. I'm Paulo. I'm the CEO and founder of Ubivis. Ubivis is a system that we work with Industry 4.0. For Industry 4.0, the main execution problems that you see some needs from the industry, but they don't have the skills is, for example, data science. They need data science, machine learning, industrial IoT, but they don't have, this is the main point of this research, that they don't have these skills internally. Then, the size of this market just for industrial IoT, it's $12 billion. It's growing 40% year per year. And the Industry 4.0, it's market estimating 210 billion by 2016. UBV system, we have 3 platforms. One is for industrial IoT, one for analytics, and the third one for smart factory that we can work individually with each one of this technology or the full portfolio of our system. I will explain a little bit more for each one of them. For industrial IoT, UBVs, I would like to highlight, we have all the technology. We develop all of our technology and we develop this hardware as, for example, as well. And this is to penetrate in a small, medium enterprise, starting to collect some data to deliver the first dashboards, to understand what's going on in the process, and that we believe that we can leverage and have much more applications. But we believe that we have this powerful tool for small and medium enterprise. After that, we have our second platform, that is the analytics and industrial business intelligence. What it means, we already have our integrated business intelligence to deliver real-time information, and the person can build KPIs and build alarms. It's very friendly user. And finally, we have our software robot. We don't see companies providing this kind of solution, that we have 2 layers of artificial intelligence, and where we can upgrade any machine in the market to have artificial intelligence and to become an autonomous system. It's I always use example of the self-driven cars. We can provide the same technology, one new layer of technology to have self-driven, these autonomous industrial machines. Our business model, it's based in a system implementation fee, what we need to do this initial configuration of the system, maybe some artificial intelligence development, and after that we provide software as a services as the amount of machines and functionalities and people that's using the platform. Our team, we have 16 people here in the team, and we have some freelancers and third parties like accounting and so, and accounting, lawyers, and contract third parties. And in this group, there's people working with us already 6-7 years, and we have a lot of expertise on Industry 4.0. We can say by that because our customers, you can see multinational customers that for sure will recognize like Shell, Anglo American, Ball, P&G, Nestlé, then so also pharmaceutical like Ipera. Well, we have solutions for different industries, and we have a well-proven technology. And this is one example for Shell that talk about well integrity tests. Our competition in the market, as we see, we have a big one that's, for example, Microsoft. That's the only one that talk about this autonomous system. And we have a differential to have an end-to-end solution, because we start since collecting data and analytics to reach these autonomous systems. This is our financial estimate. For this year, 2010, UBV is already be profitable, and we're expecting grow a lot of here in Brazil, maybe a few international. And if we expand internationally, we can grow much more because most part of our expenses is in reais, and you'll get the revenues in dollars. We're asking for a fundraise of $180,000 for 5% share. We have already a go-to-market strategy to Canada that is applied for this startup visa. There's acceleration in Waterloo, that's advanced manufacturing superclusters, that has also Canadian finance for the Industry 4.0 in Canada. And we can leverage our Brazilian customers in Canada and address the US market. Then our system is great. Our system is ready to address North America. We have customers reference. Let's go together. Thank you very much. This is the reference from Shell.
Thank you, Paulo. Thank you for your presentation, and also thank you for being with us with Go Global throughout the year. It's been a pleasure. If you please can stop sharing your screen now.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. And now we open for questioning. It's going to be 7 minutes. just like I said, you can either click the reactions button and then raise hand, or you can raise your actual hand and I can see all of your cameras here, or just open the mic and ask away. So who would like to ask the first question? Okay, Carl, I see that you raised your hand. Carl, you can start.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. You're on mute again.
Oh, thank you for the presentation. Big picture. Revenue model. That's always, when you mention Microsoft, and I have, some friends work at Microsoft, I always think, it's such a big elephant. How do you develop a model that you can start scaling up? And so please just give me a 2-second
Sure.
of the cost per install.
Yes, first of all, when I talk about this small and medium enterprise and this analytics, this is almost ready to go, that we have no interference from UBVs. We have developed this software. It's kind of a use to configure that the companies can configure by itself. Then for these 2 platforms, it's very few interference or need some human support from UBVs. Regarding then machine learning, this process, we really need more intervention for machine learning. We are putting more automation in all of our process. Then we are looking to reach some technology that is the machine learning. It will work by itself. What it means, just collecting the data and you'll have this robot learning by itself. This is our goal. We still don't have this technology, but we are looking to reach that just installing and collecting the data. Our robot, it will do the machine learning by itself. We're still not there. We still have data scientists doing that, but this is our target. Clear?
No revenue model.
The revenue model, yes, we have the revenue model for. We have the revenue model, that is, we have an installation fee, and after that, it depends of the amount of functionalities that the customers requests. Then our ticket can go from, for example, $200 up to, I don't know, have some tickets of $10,000. Then it depends of the amount of functionalities that the customers use and amount of machines.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Carl. Okay, do we have another question for UBVs? I see that André Coutinho is raising his hand. Please, you can go, André.
So hi, Paulo. Thanks for the presentation. Fascinating area, Industry 4.0. So I think we all know that this area is pretty broad. There are many layers, as you have well presented. So what's the core of your offering? I mean, your big bet, is it in the IoT piece, in the hardware, in the analytics? So where are you driving your energy?
Yeah, most part of our energy is in the software, where we have then all the data collection. We have drivers for different machines. We have all the analytics. We have a business intelligence integrated in our system, that because we also have a data warehouse, then all the system that we collect go to the data warehouse. In the data warehouse, it can be used with the business intelligence. And with this, the customers can configure the solution by itself. We work very hard on the software, but we see that customers has a need to collect this data. And for this reason, we also develop this hardware. Then this is what we talk about for penetrating the small and medium enterprise with this hardware. And then, well, they can grow adding more functionalities. But we're very focused much more in the hardware and artificial intelligence as well.
Okay, thank you. Still have some time. Do we have another question? Okay, Pravin raised his hand, and then Fernando. So Previn Rodriguez first, then Fernando will close. Mr. Previn, you're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry. Thanks for your presentation, Paulo. I read your one pager with interest. So, you know, hardware and software, as you know, so hardware, you know, can be a difficult business because the margins are slim, and software, as Carl has pointed out, also can be quite competitive, and so you've got to prove, in a sense, that your software is better than a lot of incumbents out there. What in your revenue model describes or is geared towards a recurring revenue model? So aside from the one-time sell, and you know, you might have already covered this, but I maybe have not gotten it.
No, for sure. First of all, our hardware, it's just one tool for companies that they need to collect this data. Then one of our differential is to provide this end-to-end solution. For example, that Microsoft doesn't perform that. The C3 .ai in the United States, a big one now, they doesn't provide this piece of collected data. Then when you provide the hardware, it's more to help the customers to collect the data. Then after that, where we use most part of our software, and we have a very powerful data warehouse, and this data warehouse that help us to perform all the analytics and artificial intelligence. Then our business model, it's based in this, when you sell, it's just a basic installation when you just sell the hardware. And after that, it's a software as a service model. Then it's recurrent revenue, and it's based on amount of functionalities that the customers use. If they just use the basic functionalities, about $200. If they start to put in more functionalities, even reach artificial intelligence, the revenue grows as well. Then it's just a fee for implementation, and after that is software as a service recurrent revenue.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some time, so Fernando, you can ask a short question. Yes, thank you.
Paulo, so congrats on presentation, and I want to thank also my fellow judges, because I see how with different perspectives really can help the entrepreneurs with questions. Thank you, guys. Paulo, you are actually one of those cases of people who are in the 4.0 industry, and many people want to be there, and you are not just talking, but you are actually doing, okay? You said your guys have 7 years old, and you showed us your history line of revenues. And when I saw that, I became kind of worried, because I saw that maybe in the last 4 or 5 years, you had around 200K of revenues.
That's right.
Between 200 and 250. And the question is, after being in the market for so long and getting something done in an industry that everybody's talking and you're actually doing, you decided to go global because you know that you cannot grow anymore in the Brazilian market, even though you are still very small for a 4.0 industry, and or you actually have a huge market advantage to be global.
Well, thanks. A very interesting
Paulo,
question.
I would just ask you to keep it short on your answer because of the time. Okay, so please answer as short as you can.
To be short, this field revenue, it's that was building the solution. As you mentioned, this industry 4.0, it's a very complex solution, and during all this time, we was building the solution. Now we have a solution that we can replicate, right? And since we can replicate this, also what is important, it's with this competition, everybody talks about competition, that we get revenue in dollars that's much more strong currency than in reais, and then we'll be able to grow, because the same machines that these big companies like I show over there use in Brazil, they use it in the United States, in North America, in Canada, and it's the same technology. The technology is ready to go. It's like it's just to acquire a new customers because we have the technology, and it will be much better to have more revenue in a stronger currency, and that will be able to grow much more because most part of our expenses, it will be in reais, the development, and so then it's more this focus, because now our solution is ready. This is why we're looking to the international market to get more revenue in strong currency and to be able to grow more. This is the choice to go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paulo. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for all the questions of our panel of jurors. Our next startup is Provid. I believe that Mateus is gonna share, and you can share your presentation with us. I think I'm getting repetitive here, but again, 5 minutes, and when you reach 5 minutes, I'm gonna warn you. You have 10 seconds to finish your argument, and then 7 minutes for questionings. Whenever you're ready, I'll start timing you.
Hi everyone, I am Mateus, founder of Provid, and I'm here to show you our best product ever made and offer you a great deal. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. First of all, let me tell you a story. This is Bruno, a 29-year-old guy that have just started working out in a gym that is close to his house. He's just in his 3rd week and he's already thinking of giving up. You may think he's lazy, right? But actually, he represents 50% of people in this country that also make a dropout in the first 3 months. We have found out the reasons, and they're pretty obvious, actually, like the lack of motivation affecting the practitioner's attendance along the weeks, the wrong purpose, using body references that do not match with their own bodies, and finally, the non-perception of progress, because the only way gyms could measure results today is physically, which usually takes months to appear. So, this is a problem for 2 personas. First, for practitioners that become unmotivated and for not seeing their results. And for the gym owners that suffer from high user turnover rates. So, how can we stimulate gym users and make more profit for gym owners, decreasing this so elevated turnover rate? Guys, now we present you the solution, the Hooper Tech. Hooper is a gamified app solution where users can see exactly what's going on with their training. This is because Hooper is also a sensor designed by our team that is attached to the gym machine, making it possible to show a lot of data such as waste of calories, counting of series, resting time, maximum force, average payload, and many others. The way people can get stimulated with this is by collecting workouts from many other users like them. We can use then big data to predict how much time they will need to see the first results. Or to get even more results, the app can show exactly what mistakes they must stop doing. For example, reducing the resting time between exercises or so on. So let's compare to our competitor apps. For example, Hooper not only shows the training plan, but also shows data of what the users have trained, making it possible to see their personal evolution and even share in social media. Another way people use to measure workouts are with smartwatches, we know that. But this solution, in spite of being practical, the only information it shows for workouts is the waste of calories, which is also inaccurate for these workouts. So, talking about the market, today there are more than 34,500 gyms in Brazil, with 9.6 million users and an annual billing of $2.1 billion. In number of gyms, Brazil is the 2nd place, only behind USA. About our business model is B2B. We sell to the gyms and our revenue comes from a subscription fee of about $10 for each Hooper per month. The final user has the option to use the app for free or pay about $4 per month to access extra features. In our team, we have a designer and an engineer. Still, we have a physical educator advisor and a partnership with an IT company called Progit. Together, we have developed all the technology that is inside Hooper, hardware and software. So to produce the first 100 units of Hooper and finish our app, we need an investment of about $30,000, and we can share 20% of our company. Last year, we've sold $15,000 with other products. Now we want to grow even more with this new and much more technological one. Now we invite you. Let's join us and make it happen. Thank you very much. Now we are open for your questions.
Okay, Matheus, thank you very much for your presentation. That's under the 5 minutes, so thank you very much. I'd ask you to stop sharing your screen. Perfect. And again, 7 minutes for feedback or questions from our panel. You and our jury can either raise their hands or click the raise hand button. So now we're open for questioning. I believe Previn has a question. Previn Rodriguez, okay, so you can be the first one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. So I had a question looking at your business model that was laid out in your one pager and what you've described. So you've got 2 revenue streams. You've got one from the gyms themselves and a revenue stream from the people who are working out if they want to access additional features. So one of the things that I had a question about is, so your business model is based on licensing devices to gyms, essentially, which is another cost that they have to bear, and the margins can be slim, as we know in the gym sector, right? So, you know, in a sense, you're asking them to bear another cost that you may or may not be able to tie directly to retention of clients in the gym. So my question is, what avenues have you considered that would add value and potentially recurring revenue streams to the gym? So for example, if you took the device and it's, you know, maybe they do pay a licensing fee, but then what about maybe sharing revenues with them so that then you become entrenched in those gyms, as opposed to them seeing it just as a cost?
Yes, for sure. It's a pretty good question. And since the beginning, we were trying to make to be as a partner to the gym, not just a cost that it will be to them. So we believe that reducing this turnover rates of people that just getting started with working out in the gym, and less than 3 months after they give up. So this is reducing this number. We believe that it will make to be less than the cost paying the fees for our app. I don't know if you understand. Because just for one example, we have a gym that is already testing our the Hooper system, and they have about 250 users, and 50 users of these 250 are just people that all the months are new ones, you know. So it's about 20% of people that work out in this gym are people that the next month we will not be there or something like that. So this is a cost also for the gym, because are people that is not paying anymore or something like that.
Okay. I guess my point is it's very hard to directly link the use of your product to retention in the gym, unless you're you're surveying and constantly tracking that. So I guess my only point was that if you had a model where you incorporated a revenue share, then the gyms might be more amenable to keeping the product longer term. Was my only suggestion.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion. We can make it that, but not yet.
Thank you. Thank you, Previn. Do we have another question from the panel? Either Andre, Fernando, or Carl. Okay, Fernando has a question. You can go ahead.
Okay, thanks for the presentation. Very nice, interesting. I'm actually not going to talk about your business or idea or the app because I believe you're still raw and actually not being on MVP yet. I think we're more in the idea stage. So before talking about the business, I want to talk about you. So tell us why you are doing this, why you decided to create a solution so like that. How did you leave this problem, and how I say what kind of authority you have over the problem to create a solution. Sell us before yourself.
Great one. I like it. Actually, this is my second startup. I started with another one before the COVID pandemic, and the first one also was with a technology product. So about technology, hardware, electronics, and IoT and something like that, software, I am pretty used with it. So about this and about the, let's say about the health part or about care, health care of people. Provid is in his second year of developing products. So the first year we have developed some products that is from healthcare also. So we believed that even after the pandemics, we will need to develop products that will care with the health of people. So we believed that inside gyms that it was the place that we have sold the most of our products. So we believed that inside gyms we can still sell products for this kind of people that are already our clients. So we tried to match all of it, and then Hooper appears. And it was great for our clients. We showed it for them. And we believe that we are not just an idea, but I think the MVP is pretty good and working well. It's inside some gyms in Porto Alegre. And I think it's something like that. Thank you for your question. You are mute, Marcelo.
Okay,
No.
yes, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I was just saying that we just reached the 7-minute mark. So thank you, Pravin and Fernando, for your questions, and thank you, Mateus, thank you, Gracie, for presenting and for being part of Go Global up to this stage. So thank you very much. Next startup is TideSat. I'm not sure who's presenting for TideSat. I've seen a few of the members of the startup here, but
hello, folks.
Who is presenting?
I'll be doing
hello.
Talk.
Perfect, Felipe. Welcome, and you can share your presentation with us. Again, 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, I'm gonna tell you that you reached the time, and then you have around 10 seconds to close your remarks.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see your slides in full screen, and we can also hear you. So whenever you're ready, please take it away.
Oh. So hello everyone. With TideSat, you measure water level everywhere and access anywhere. Floods and droughts are the most common type of natural disaster, and water level data is critical for monitoring natural disasters and for adapting to climate change. Current water level solutions range on the left-hand side to simple wooden boards with a ruler that are very low cost but very labor intensive because someone has to go there and read it. To, on the right-hand side, high-tech, high-cost, automatic operating radar type of tide gauges. Both solutions, they suffer from limitations related to the proximity to the water. The ruler is a wet sensor. The radar has to be on top of the water. And what we see in this New York Times headline is that those tide gauges, they are destroyed when a storm surge comes in. Enter the TideSat Drive remote sensor. It's based on a unique satellite remote sensing technology that operates from a distance. It's technology spin-off from university research and development carried out over more than 5 years, and it's been validated in the field for more than 2 years. Our main data product is shown at the bottom, which is water level versus time. Our startup is taking the sensor and building a more friendly user experience based on the IoT concept. So the raw field data is uploaded to the cloud where it's processed and made available for download and visualization by mobile users and partner integrators. The benefits for the customers are multiple. First, safety, because it operates from a distance. Second, simplicity. It's very easy for the user themselves to install it. It doesn't require any civil engineering construction as in the conventional sensors, in which you'd have to build a pier. It operates from all terrains. It's not hampered by rocks or beaches. And it requires zero investment from the customer because we do not sell the hardware. We offer a subscription service. The main applications are in coastal sea level monitoring, rivers and lakes, and also dams and reservoirs. Potential customers are mainly in hydroelectricity generation, ports and navigation, fishing, civil defense and municipalities in all coastal regions and riverine regions worldwide. So it's a huge market. Our data as a service is offered under a freemium model in which we give away access to only one station and recent data. And under a monthly subscription, we give access to more stations and longer data. And under an annual subscription, we ship the hardware to the user so that they can install it in their facilities. Just to give you an idea for the market opportunity, in our home state, there is 100+ network of stations of the high-end type. The total cost of ownership is about $300 per station per month. That's about 30,000 monthly available. And that's not to mention the much more numerous and lower cost ruler-based stations that users would like to upgrade to a more automatic experience. So we seek to share 10% of this opportunity in the first 2 years of operation. This is our diverse team. It's made of graduate and undergraduate students. And this is our trajectory. The team building has been taking place for 2 years. The team has participated in entrepreneurship training competitions. Last year, we won an international competition that gave us some initial equity-free funding that we've been using for product development during this year, and we are incubated in the local university. So we are looking for international incubation opportunities. We think that it would give us more exposure and access to financing, and also help with some of the taxes in importing components. And that's it. I will be glad to take any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felipe. That's under the 5 minutes, so that's perfect. If you can please stop sharing your screen. And we can open for questions from our panel. Again, 7 minutes. And whoever has a question can either raise their hands or click the raise hand button or just open the mic and ask away. Our first question is from Carl, who's raising his hand. So please, Carl, you can go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. Very, very exciting. In this part of Canada, we understand the satellite, a lot of satellite companies in this area, and water is obviously something that gets measured in many ways. So you're right on the mark. I guess the $300 per unit, is the technology inside generic that somebody could copy to very quickly, or I worried about this.
Right. The $300 per month, it's a recurring expense. It's not one time. Okay. So every month, that's we took the equipment purchase. It lasts for 5 years. That's for the current solutions. Okay. That's for our competition. Okay. And then we divided by 5 years. We also took the amount necessary for maintenance. The site visits are very expensive because you have to travel. And we also took into consideration the equipment purchase and some of the civil engineering construction necessary to set up the conventional equipment. Okay, so that's how much, the maximum that we can charge, let's put it that way. And we want to focus on a niche market between the low end and the high end solution so that we can have a wider user base. Not sure if that answers your question.
So who owns the patent on the technology?
We are applying for the patent. We are on the process of applying for the patent.
So it's not a generic off-the-shelf.
Well, it's not the conventional type. There are only a handful of companies that would be able to compete with us. We have found some similar patents that they have expired. We have done some patent research, but not exactly similar to the one we are developing.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. But it's also not the type of technology you would purchase on eBay. You know, it's unique in that regard.
Okay, I think André raised his hand before. Am I correct?
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna just ask, because I think your solutions has a lot to do with all this smart city movement, really embedding sensors, IoT, and making municipalities more smarter. So my question is, how do you intend to persuade city councils and even as you said, Rio Grande do Sul state in the south of Brazil, or even a country to adopt such solution?
Yes. So we have done a lot of interviews with the potential customers, and they have told us one of the main pain they have is lack of personnel, lack of workers to run such a network. So they would like to outsource it. If they could just pay a monthly fee and get access to the data. They don't really care about the technology. They want the water level data. So if they could magically download the data from a website and leave all the dirty work for us, that would be perfect for them. And because at least in the public sector, they have been having less and less workers available to run this network. So even if they can purchase, they don't have time to install it, and it breaks often. They have to travel, and they're really looking forward to a data as a service, and not have to deal with the hardware anymore.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for your question. We still have time for maybe one more question. So if anyone has a follow-up, either someone who already asked and wants to ask again, or someone else has a question, I believe Previn Rodriguez is opening his mic, so you can go ahead.
Thanks, Felipe. So I don't know if you mentioned how you anticipate you will fund your growth. I don't think you had a financial ask, but how do you intend to fund your growth?
Well, so we are looking for equity-free financing at this point. We're taking the technology from the university to society. So we are still in I don't want to say early stage, because we've been doing this for 2 years, but it will probably take 1 or 2 years to actually sell a product. So that's why we don't have more firm financial developments yet. We have seen the competition either from conventional companies and similar companies, and we believe this is the time to go. If we miss this opportunity, someone will take the market.
Okay, so if there's an opportunity, then isn't the goal to grow quickly?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the technology is on the brink for going from the lab to the market. And if it's not going to be us who do it, somebody else will do it. That's our impression. It's that state of development.
So when you say that, then doesn't it make sense to actually fund it well and get the product out there quickly, as opposed to?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then what did you mention about 2 years? You said it would take 2 years to actually get the product to market.
Well, to start having a constant revenue stream to reach some level of self-sustainability. We'll be burning funding for some time before we can reach sustainability.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Previn. We just reached the 7-minute mark, so we're gonna go ahead and move to the next startup. Thank you very much, Felipe, and thank you very much, everyone in TideSat. You guys have a big team, and I can see that many of you are connected here now. So thank you all for participating in Go Global, sharing your knowledge, experience with us. Okay, so like I've been putting in the chat which startup is going next, and all the startups already know their order. Yes, exactly. So next up is Epigenetic Biosciences. I believe Barbara is going to present. Barbara, you can share your screen with us.
Okay.
Okay, we can see your screen, but not in. I think it's going to full screen now. Yes. For me, it says still loading. So yeah, okay, we can see your presentation, we can hear you. 5 minutes, and I'm gonna give you a warning when you reach the 5-minute mark, and then you end your presentation, okay? So whenever you want to start, take it away, and I'll start timing you.
Okay, thank you, Marcelo. Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara. I'm co-founder and CEO of Epigenetic Biosciences, a biotech company that have the mission to unveil your epigenome to take care for your health, smartly. So all over the years, the science have shown to us what makes us to get sick. And plenty of studies verified that the environment and our bad habits can influence our genetic code. And this phenomenon is called epigenetics. How we take care of our epigenome or our epigenetics may increase or not the possibility to get chronic disease that are responsible for 71% of all deaths worldwide. And also, the cost will reach 47 trillion by 2030. One example is cancer that only 10% is caused by genetic lesions and 9% is influenced by the environment and our lifestyle. In other words, the epigenome, our epigenome, which is the behavior of our genes, are influenced by these exposures. So an imbalance in our genes may cause disease. So what if we could map our epigenome to monitor our health? So our company offered a less invasive early diagnosis from saliva DNA for asymptomatic patients. Also a health monitoring of lifestyle and treatment interventions and an epigenetic counseling support in decision-making. So our customer will buy the kit via sales channels, collect his DNA from saliva and send it to our sponsor sequence lab. And then the epigenomics data will be sent to our EpiBio platform with AI. And the report will be informed by the epigenetic counselor that may recommend other health professionals if necessary. Our revenue model will be a fixed price per exam, a subscription plan to monitor the epigenome for a long term, and we are already selling our R&D biomarker services to research clients. Our market consists of patients, doctors, researchers, and medical professionals concerned with the prevention of chronic disease. And the global health and wellness market is estimated to reach more than 4 billion in 2026. So we believe that in the total addressable market for our solution is in the excess of 20 million a year. We already have research partners in United States, England, and Brazil. Our plan is to born global with our service to reduce risks, access technology, and to enter in the largest epigenomics markets such as North America and Europe. And our strategy is to find partners and sponsors to develop our service. Our main competitors are in North America and Europe, whereas in Brazil, similar companies only offer genetic services. Our unique advantage to foreign competitors is the combination with the other patients' exams data. So our company is a spin-off derived from projects of my PhD and postdoc at Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul and National Cancer Institute in the United States. Our team is experienced with complementary skills and is made by me with more than 10 years of experience in molecular biology, and Dr. Daniela with more than 19 years of experience in database and 7 years in business modeling. As our company was born in December 2020, we applied to Go Global to refine our business model, planning to internationalize, learn, and also to learn and live inside these new markets after come back to Brazil to develop the epigenomics market here. We are seeking approximately $500,000 in funding for this early stage. We are applying for grants, and we are in contact with international investors in Poland, and we are planning to internationalize in the next year, to start the process of internationalization next year in Poland. With this fund round, we will invest in team growth, MVP modeling, platform prototyping, and we are expanding the search for partners and sponsors and seeking resources for internationalization and prospecting and selling more R&D projects. Thank you for your attention. We are looking forward to talk more about our company.
Okay, Barbara, thank you very much. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Daniela.
I'm not hearing.
I think you're on mute, Marcelo.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. This is the things that happen in COVID, right? I think one of the things that we say the most is you're on mute and sorry, can you see my screen? These sort of things have really reached high levels of our lexicon. So what I was saying is thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Daniela, for your presentation, for being a part of Go Global since the beginning. Special thanks to Daniela Browner, who's been very helpful in the beginning of the program as well, before all the startups enrolled and started participating. Daniela had an active role, so thank you very much. And now we go for the questions. Our first question, André Coutinho has raised his hand, so please, André, you can ask away.
Thanks, Barbara, for your excellent presentation. I'm really enthusiastic about biogenetics and biotechnology in general. So two quick questions. First, if your solution needs product registration with regulatory agencies like Anvisa in Brazil, and the second question is, what is your main customer? Is it the physician or the patient or someone else?
Okay, thanks for your question. Actually, this kind of exams doesn't really need a registration like a diagnosis exam, for example, or a drug, for example. So it is more simple, something like, can I explain something like that? And our main customer is every person who wants to take care of who is aware of your health and aware of chronic diseases and wants to prevent will be our best customers. And also we will work with we will make the partnerships with medical professionals to help with this awareness about the prevention, because people usually in traditional medicine usually treat only the symptomatic patients. So a cancer doesn't occur in 1 month. A cancer you can see that we can do an early detection years before it happens. So we want to act in this way, prevention and awareness.
Just to complement, we have another kind of clients that are the researchers. So we are selling some services, some research and development services already. And these kind of clients are in essential the medicals or some oncologists, for example, researchers.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have another question from our panel? If either André wants to ask a follow-up, or Carl, Fernando, Pravin. Pravin Rodriguez, please, you can ask your question.
Thank you. So great presentation, Barbara.
Thank you.
Barbara and Daniela. So the question I had, looking at the information that you had previously provided, is one of your key success factors is finding a sponsor lab to achieve scale. Could you tell us a little bit more about your channels to market? So I understand that you have sort of a research channel and customers on that side. And then can you tell us a little bit more, I guess in follow-up to the previous question that was asked, about your channels to market and what will enable your rapid growth?
Okay, thank you for your question. Our next MVP, we will seek international laboratories that can perform these epigenetic exams. So we can represent here in Brazil. And these partnerships with these laboratories, we were gonna test the market, validate the market, and also the interest of the public, the acceptance here. So here for Brazil, this kind of exam is expensive. So we want these partnerships to share this access, also the data for us, because our main asset will be the data of the patients to prospect new biomarkers and to make drug discovery of this data to sell to the pharmacy industry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. We still have time for one short question. If anyone from our panel has a follow-up or a feedback, we still have some time for short comments. Okay, then okay, Carl, please, Carl, you can ask your question. You're on mute. Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go.
Go to market. I'm familiar with M23 or Me23. They are going to market directly to the consumer. Is that a feasible model so that you're quick into revenue, or do you go through the bigger channel and then hope that it picks up?
Yes. Oh, sorry. You can go, Danny.
Okay, thank you for your question. We are trying to do some partnerships with other kind of health professionals, for example, nutritionists or health style professionals like physicians or other kind of professions, not only the doctors, for example, and medical professionals. So we are starting to talk with this kind of professionals to see what kind of exams they are used to consume to their patients, to try to convince them that epigenetics is one of these kind of exams that they can choose. So the idea is not to go like marketing, sponsor market in social networks, for example. It's not our kind of clients. Our clients are not there. Our clients are inside the gyms, for example, or inside nutritionists market, or the how can I say, the aging awareness, yes. So our market is defined in this way, with the partnerships, with these partners being part of the strategy.
So just to add, Daniela, I would like to say that unlike genetic tests that provide only the information on genes variations and predispositions to disease risks, the epigenetic tests measure how genes are expressed, how are the behavior of our genes. So, and how they behave according to our aging and our lifestyle. So this is a test, an ideal test to monitor disease and also lifestyle interventions. So everyone who are interested in to take care of your health, it's ideal test, more than genetic tests.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Carl, for your question, and all the other panel members that asked questions. We reached the 7-minute mark, so we're going to move ahead to the next startup. Again, thank you very much to Epigenetica, to Barbara, to Daniela for participating in Go Global and being so active and being present throughout the year with us. So thank you very much. Next up, as I put it on the chat, is Iris Lab. I believe that Rodrigo is going to present, or
yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
cool.
So you can share your presentation with us. Again, 5 minutes. I'm gonna, if you reach the 5-minute mark, I'm gonna let you know, and then you need to close your argument. Okay.
Okay.
Iris Lab is our second to last startup. So whenever you want, please start and I'll start chiming you.
Okay, thank you, Marcelo. Hi, I'm Rodrigo, Antonio's father, and have always been the tech junkie kind of guy, at least until my son was born and technology became a potential problem. Screen usage by children is still a taboo, and we parents do not know how to draw limits or provide proper digital education. This scenario leaves children lost online, exposing themselves to risks and inappropriate content. Digital technologies cannot replace proper playing and cannot put our children at risk. After all, the world is not just virtual or offline anymore. It is the coexistence of both. Thinking about that, we have founded Iris Lab, the startup that guides digital natives to make a balanced, safe, and healthy usage of screens. In the parent's perspective, it provides peace of mind and convenience, guiding their children's digital education. As for children, it provides a virtual brother, the Apollo character, our app mediator powered by augmented reality and artificial intelligence, and gamification as well. He's the one to help children build self-awareness and self-regulation by covering topics such as screen time, online-offline balance, digital critical thinking, and of online dangers. Our activities also develop soft skills since they are designed to trigger offline playing. That leads us to our market positioning. We are not just another gaming platform that claims to be educational, but actually a scientifically based educational application that keeps children active and playful while using screens through hybrid and offline activities. And we are really the only ones to teach children how to properly use digital media. Our company is currently established in Brazil, but we believe our solution to be global. So a year ago, we moved to Portugal, and that allows us to validate solution locally at both countries. Our market size in B2C model is $570 million US, combining both countries, and Brazil alone represents about 94% of it. We have a subscription-based model, and currently our focus is to launch applications light version, targeting children from 3 to 5 years old. The app will be made available in Brazil and Portugal at the same time, and our forecast is to impact 8,000 families within a year. Portugal's culture presented us the need to explore new business models, and so B2B2C also came as an alternative of selling our solution to schools, telecom companies, and municipalities. Our prospects have shown real interest in buying licenses and making them available for our customer and residents. We have already built 3 different MVPs and tested out our solution with over 100 beta testers. And so the need to start building our solution became clear. That way, in July, we received an angel investment of $14,000, which made the light version development possible, and will allow us to make our first moves on paid marketing. Our plan is to reach the return of investment within 10 months, after launching the light solution, and reinvest most of the revenue in the complete solutions development. But in order to get real traction and growth, we plan to start raising a round of funding by April next year. That, along with our sale strategy, will make the fully featured version possible and allow us to sustain the aggressive marketing strategy demanded by the B2C model. We hope to see that in April 2023. And please meet our team. I'm Rodrigo Carramach, the CTO and systems engineer with a 7-year commercial background, and Lais Rumi, our CEO, who is a mother and screens mediator. We also count on a psychologist who has a doctorate degree in child digital education, an illustrator, a freelancer developer, and a UI expert. Currently, we are looking for parents in North America market that can help us with partnership to test our product's acceptance. And we are also prospecting venture capital investors in order to be able to accomplish our roadmap milestones. Screens and technology are here. They're not the villains, and we do not need to feel guilty offering them to our children. We just need to do it the right way. And making that possible is our mission. Thank you.
Okay, you just reached 5 minutes, so that's right under time. So thank you very much, Rodrigo. Thank you very much as well to Lais for participating in Go Global since the beginning. Always very participative, so thank you very much. And now we're gonna open for questionings. I believe that we already have one raised hand from Fernando. So Fernando, please, you can go.
Rodrigo, so congrats on presentation. I'm glad to see you are related, involved with B2Meme. I'm very close friends to Dani Junco, and this weekend was a very successful for her. In the beginning of her presentation, I was really relating myself to your solution because I have a 11-year-old girl, and I have a daily fight with her and her mobile. Okay, so in the beginning, I thought you were talking about a technology so control system. Then you spoke about a learning platform. This was a little bit so confusing for me. If you can clarify that and position yourself better.
Okay, sure. Thank you for your question, Fernando. Actually, we don't believe that by blocking or by limiting the access of our children to technology is the best way to provide that kind of education. If you want to educate your children to safely go for a public space, for instance, what's your way of doing so? You take the children there and teach how to behave, what is risky behavior and what's not, what the children is able to do in a safe manner and what's not. So as well as in real spaces, in virtual spaces, it works the same way. The best way to educate the children is to show what's the safe and the unsafe things to do. So we don't believe that blocking and limiting is the way, but actually working as a model and providing the best practices to do in the online world. And don't worry, we'll probably reach your daughter's age in some time, because we are actually starting from 3 to 5, but our full scope is 2 to 12 years old. So we'll be there. We'll be there.
Okay, thank you very much. We have some time for other questions. So if anyone else in our panel has a feedback or a question for Rodrigo. Okay, Carl has raised his hand. Carl, you can go ahead, please. And unmute first.
Oh. Great presentation. I really love the metric slide because it understands that there's things out there that are competing. We have a 4-year-old grandson, so at the house is always an iPad and Disney. of some type of Disney character type of, and so I understand that the new generation will be very different than what we are dealing with even today. But how do you compete with these mega, like, do you make it as a license, or do you try to go alone with some kind of channel? So it's confusing to me, is how do you go to market when you got to deal with so mega platforms?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Carl. Actually, we are kind of integrating those platforms to ours, so we can make possible for children and for adults, for the parents, to choose to provide access for children to those platforms. But what we do is to mediate the usage in a healthy way. So the children cannot stay like for hours in front of the screen, consuming that content in a passive way. We always activate this content, and by asking questions, by interacting, by bringing the context of the content, the video, to their reality. That's the learning process. It's how it works. And to make possible to do some offline activities and some hybrid activities as well, going from that context that the children just watched. So we use content from that kind of platforms. And our plans, you said something about partnership or licensing. We do intend to bring some of the content to inside of our platform and license those contents as well to be a part of our platform. That's not possible at the moment because of budget mainly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carl. We still have time for a quick question, so Previn, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Rodrigo, for your presentation. So my question is, so you talked about you know, the 3 to 5 age group, but then that the product is actually meant for all the way from 2 to 12. So I understand it's not necessarily a control mechanism, it's more a behavior shaping educational tool. So if the tool is meant to provide a digital education, presumably at the early stages of technology use, you know, which I wish I had when my twins were going through this, then how do you prolong subscriptions once the learning has occurred? So what do you see as ways to make the subscription sticky, right?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your question, Previn. In fact, in each of the age, each age has a different demand, a different need, both educationally and according to the content they consume. So we can't make it a platform that ranges from 2 to 12 without making some segmentation. You have to segment both the content and what you are trying to teach, because you've got problems, online threats like cyberbullying and sexual predators that are more related to children who are older. And so that's the way to make it work in the long run. You start by saying children what's the right time to be in front of screens, and then you evolve to how not to practice cyberbullying. And at the age of 10, you start approaching the more sexual topics, and that's from the educational perspective, the roadmap, and from the content roadmap, you have to make or to connect to children accordingly to what they are consuming. So if you start with comics and cartoon, you have to evolve to something more like Minecraft and cobots in the future. So you really need to segment the solution and to offer each age what they need and what they consume.
Okay, thank you very much. We reached the time, so thank you, Previn, for your question, and thank you, Rodrigo, and thanks to Iris Lab, to Lais as well, for participating and being with us throughout the year. It's been great, so thank you very much for everything. Now we move to our last startup of the day of our pitch competition, and the last startup is Zeofertil. I believe Elena is gonna be the one presenting.
Yes, hi Marcelo. Can you see my screen?
Hello. Yes, we can see your screen. Slides are you can change them, and we can see and we can hear you. So whenever you're ready, you can start, and I'll time you and let you know if you hit the 5-minute mark.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Helena, and I'm the co-founder of Zeofertil. Did you know that industrial waste is generated in large volumes every year? Right now, there are 55 billion cubic meters of mining tailings being stored around the world in dams. Moreover, in the next 5 years, we'll probably reach the 70 billion mark. To give you some perspective, if you build a 1 meter high pile with this waste, it will actually cover all Switzerland area. Well, even when disposed correctly, this waste still inflicts high risks of accidents that cause extensive and unmeasurable damage to the environment and the local community. So we thought, what if we could transform this waste into smart fertilizers? That is what Zeofertil is offering. Industries such as mining, coal power plants, rice mills, among many others, generate wastes rich in silicon or aluminum. We have designed a solution in which you can chemically transform this material into smart potassic fertilizers. In our business model, these industries are our main clients. We develop projects so the waste can be treated at the point of origin. And for selling our fertilizer, we want to partner with the local community to be able to offer it to small farmers. We consider our fertilizer smart because the potassium is protected or encapsulated in the structure we synthesize from waste, providing slow and controlled release. Therefore, we avoid both this loss of this nutrient to deeper soil layers and the need of multiple fertilizer applications during the harvest. We've already validated this feature in our experiments. Differently from the other solutions in the market, we believe the structure of our fertilizer remains in the soil after fertilization is finished and acts as a soil amendment, improving soil health. If so, our fertilizer can retain other nutrients such as ammonium and reduce nitrogen oxide emissions from the soil. This is a big deal. Nitrous oxide is 300 times more potent at warming the planet than CO2. Our product can also retain water, helping in drought resistance and remove contaminants by immobilizing heavy metals and preventing them from reaching our food chain. So in comparison to our competitors, we can offer a more complete solution, combining both fertilization and soil amendment in a price comparable to encapsulated fertilizers. Furthermore, we are aligned with the UN SDGs, and our solution promotes circular economy at the same time it minimizes the risks associated with waste storage and disposal. Our history has begun in 2014 when we first started working on this problem. In 2016, we validated our MVP, a coal ash-based fertilizer for wheat growth in a greenhouse. In 2020, we took the next step and founded our startup. This year, we have registered our company in Brazil and participated in accelerations such as Go.GlobalX, Artemis project in Canada, AET in Switzerland, and also trainings and competitions in many other countries. Now our goal is to have a proof of concept ready by next year. Then we can show the benefits of a fertilizer in a field application and start the registration process of our product. So we are searching for partners and funding for this scale up. We are a team of 2 women, Camila, who is based on France, and me, who lives in Brazil. We are both entrepreneurs, scientists, and chemical engineers. But most important, we both come from families of small farmers. So we understand closely their everyday challenges. Thank you very much for your attention. We are Ziofertil, and we develop technological solutions to transform industrial waste into fertilizers.
Thank you very much, Elena. That's under the 5 minutes, so really good time management. Thank you. And now we can move to our final set of questions. First, Fernando has already raised his hand, so please, Fernando, you can ask your question.
Elena, so congrats on presentation. I'm very happy to see you and your partner to grow into the boys club.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
You want to create a solution where big, huge, so North American companies are into market, and not huge, but strong companies, and a very consolidated market. And it's also very nice to know that you and your partner come from farm families. Okay, and my question is, you have a very sustainable solution. If it would be better for you to go for a higher market and more niched one, like family businesses and small city business, a small market but higher end, you know?
Yeah. So first, we are planning to go into the small family business because we don't expect to have a huge production of fertilizers, and fertilizers, they take a lot of production needs. So I can share my screen to show you our market. So sorry. Here is the market size for the families, for the agriculture in Brazil. So if you consider family-based, there is like 80% of the farms that are family-based. So if we consider the usage of fertilizers, of potassic fertilizer, it's around $500 million. So we expect like a $30 million profit in the family-based market if we're only able to achieve 1% of them. So even if we are talking about the family-based, it is indeed a huge market in Brazil.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your question, Fernando. We still have some time, so if anyone else on the panel wants to ask a question, Carl, Andrea, or Pravin. I believe Pravin has opened the mic, so we're not hearing you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And after that, Andrea is going to ask a question.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Helena. So see how I ask this question. So you obviously the way you actually manufacture the fertilizers, you need it's a waste to value model. So you've got to seek out your raw materials, you know, from a mine or what have you. So do you consider yourself you know, a project-based organization, or do you think you will be able to achieve continuous production? Because, you know, and if you do see yourself as a project-based organization, how do you scale up the business quickly?
Yes, so thank you for the question, Pravin. So yes, in the first moment, we are working on making projects for mining companies. They are actually searching us for having solutions for their mining tailings. So they want a treatment. So the treatment they want, it is for a continuous production. So we work on the beginning, helping them to have this project, to develop this product. And then we also help them continuing the production. So they can have a part of their mining tailings that is not being stored in dams. Got it.
And that also means that you have offtake to handle the products that come out of that process, right? So you almost have to have both things going at the same time, because if you make a product out of the waste, then you also have to sell that product and get rid of that inventory, if you will.
Yes, of course. That's why we plan to actually partner with the local community, like cooperatives, to help us sell this fertilizer.
Okay, great. Do you mind if I ask a quick follow-up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so is your process is protected by patents?
No, because for each waste, the process will vary its conditions, like temperature and time of the process. So no, it's not protected.
Okay.
It's more like a secret, if I can.
Okay, got it. And then last question. So if because you have a circular economy model, you have a burden that other fertilizer companies do not have. So currently there are many producers of fertilizers, and of course there's a lot of consternation about runoff and so on and so forth. But when individual buyers look at your model, they'll say, okay, well, look at the good that they're doing on the one hand, right, by recycling waste. What about the other side of it? So when you produce these fertilizers, I understand they're also soil remediation agents, but are there negative impacts to the fertilizers that you produce? And how do you mitigate those?
Yeah, we have not observed this in our experiments. The pH of the soil did not change. We actually grow with this fertilizer that is a cultivar that's like really sensible to soil conditions. So we did not see it in our previous experiments, but of course we are planning to have this proof of concept and have a field application so we can actually have this all sorted out to start a registration of the product. Yeah.
So what about runoff then?
Runoff of the fertilizer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe this will happen because the fertilizer, it's kind of a soil material. It's very similar to some materials we have in the soil. So the fertilizer will not run off and will actually help to ammonium ions and potassium ions not run off in the soil.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Pravin.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. Andre, do you have one? I saw that you had your hand raised.
No, so thanks for your excellent presentation, Lena. I really resonate with the circular economy movement. I do also, I'm a founder of a startup on the circular economy. So my question is, what's your preferred business model so far? I think speaking up on the last set of questions, I mean, is it, licensing your technology? Is it designing a solution? Is it, so far during your discovery process, so what's your preferred business model?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Andre. So right now, companies and other researchers are coming to us to help them with waste problems. So in the first moment, as I said, we are working on research projects to help develop solutions from waste. Our plan is to develop the product itself and then the scale up so that the waste can be treated in the point of origin. And then for selling the fertilizer, we want to partner with the local community, or if the industry has interest in selling the fertilizer, they can also sell. We will help them in the selling process. but we also want to integrate the local community near to the mining sites, for instance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Elena. That's
Thank you, guys.
all the time that we had for questions. And thanks again to Zeofertio for your participation in the program. Very active as well. So thank you very much for sharing all these moments with us. Okay, and after the presentation by Zeofertio, we are finished with our with all the every startup has already pitched. So this will be the end of our event. I want to thank everyone for participating. I want to extend our appreciation to everyone on our examination panel who gave us some of your time and some of your knowledge. You could borrow us this insights that you have on startups and businesses to help our startups to grow even more than choosing a winner. I believe that all these questions, they come in a way to help improve business and maybe get a few set of eyes more on their business and on their solutions. I believe that everyone is growing and will emerge a better solution, a better idea after these and after Go Global is finished. So thank you everyone in the examination panel. Thank you everyone watching. If you're a friend, if you're a coworker, if you're, anyone who's watching, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much to all of the partners who made Go Global possible. The 5 institutions that brought their strengths together and could help the innovation ecosystem grow in our area, but even more than grow, break down barriers and take on the world with good ideas and solutions and hard work and networking. That's great. So thank you to everyone at Zenit, Tecnopuc, Tecnosinos, Unicred, and Sebrae. Thank you to our partners in Canada, in Ideality. Thank you to our partners in Estonia Hub. Thank you to everyone who participated. And most of all, thank you to all the startups, because this program would be nothing without your participation weekly with us, discussing ideas, sharing your doubts and wins and everything that happened throughout this year. This program would be nothing without the participation of these 7 standout startups and also the other 28 startups that participated throughout the year that for one reason or the other could not be with us now because their solution was not developed enough or could not reach a global market. But I'm sure that all of them will gain their markets, if not globally, locally, or help people. So after all of these thanks, I'd like to close this event, and please pay attention to all of our social media, because on Thursday we're going to announce the big winner. But I believe that we are all winners at this point. We learned so much, and thank you very much to everyone. See you in the world, I guess. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Marcelo.
Bye. Thank you all.
Nice.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, André. Thank you, Pravin. Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you, Pravin.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Carl.
André. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fernando.
Wonderful event.
Thank you, Pravin. Thank you for joining us.
Take care. And how do you want us to get our markings back to you guys? I guess I just better read the instructions.
You can send to me, Pravin, and
Okay.
we can follow up this and consolidate with the team in Brazil. No problem at all.
It's too bad. It's too bad there can be only one.
Yes, true. True. I agree.
True.
Honestly,
I'm
really.
gonna stop the recording now, but we can keep connected. Just